Hello and welcome back for another Keeper Talks with Kiki. I'm here today with Kona, and we're going to talk to you about Australian Shepherds and Giraffes. So let's get started. So first we're going to talk about Australian Shepherds, which is Kona here. I don't know if she'll sit in my lap or not. Kona is a 1-year-old purebred Australian Shepherd. She is my boyfriend's puppy dog. She is a very good girl. She's very chill, except for when I blow in her face and then she goes crazy. So first question I had are, why are they so cute? So a big reason that they're so cute is because they have big puppy dog watery eyes, and they have these little eyebrows right here, which makes them super cute and helps them have like person-like features when they're looking at you because they have those brown eyebrows. And then she's super fluffy, so she's like a little stuffed animal. Also, her favorite pastimes and hobbies are chewing on things. She loves chewing on antler toys like this. She loves her antler toys. No, it's too loud right now. And she loves chasing balls, and she also loves chasing brooms whenever you try to sweep something. She thinks she needs to kill the broom. What makes them a regular Australian Shepherd or a miniature Australian Shepherd is just selective breeding. So miniature Australian Shepherds basically just came from regular Australian Shepherds being bred together. So they, let's say in Kona's litter, there's like one Australian Shepherd that's really small. So you would breed that one with another small Australian Shepherd, and then they would have all small Australian Shepherds. And so theoretically, a mini Australian Shepherd could give birth to a regular size Australian Shepherd because they're descended from regular size ones. Okay, what's the story with the nub? So she has a little nub tail. So Austin actually got her from a breeder, and so we don't know. I know, you're adopted, I'm sorry. And so we don't know if she was born with no tail or if her tail was docked when she was newly born. Australian Shepherds are sometimes born with no tail or a stunted tail, but their tails are traditionally docked because they're an animal that is normally used for like herding sheep in brushy environments, and so their tail could get burrs stuck on it and that kind of stuff. I would prefer that dogs' tails weren't docked because I think they can get along fine with a full tail, but she does not have a tail. She just has a little nub that she wags when she's really happy. She does shed, but she doesn't shed horribly. I've definitely had dogs in the past that were really, really bad shedders. She sheds a little bit. She's shedding more right now because it's springtime, so she's shedding her winter coat, but she doesn't shed a ton. So I have like a white blanket on my bed, and it's not like black from her fur. She did know how to naturally shepherd as a puppy. She would chase people's heels and nip at them. It's very common for all shepherding breeds. I think there are around 60 breeds that are classified as shepherding dogs, and all of them are born with a natural instinct to want to herd things. So they want to nip at its heels, or they want to circle it, or they want to like bark at it and try to move larger animals in a certain direction. So that's a natural tendency for them. And then you can raise them and train them to make them more predispositioned for that, or I guess more like good at that herding. And so they can become better herders. Kona has no official training as a sheep herder, so she's just a companion pup. She has some favorite snacks. Her favorite snacks are cooked bits of chicken when me and Austin are cooking pasta and stuff like that, and we give her little bits of chicken. Yeah, and she also loves like little rawhide chews or chicken chews that we get her. She's really not picky. If it smells good, she'll eat it. And again, her antler toys are her favorite treat. She loves chewing on her little antler things. Yeah. And then a fun fact about them, they come in 4 different colors. So they come in this beautiful tricolor here with the white, the brown, and the black. They also come in a blue merle color and in a red merle color, and then in a red tricolor. Are you done? Are you sleepy? Okay, let's talk about giraffes. You bet giraffe we're going to talk about him. Okay, so how hard can giraffes swing their necks? So it's this is actually something that giraffes do in combat. Okay, bye. Male giraffes, if they're competing with another male for a female, they'll stand side by side and they'll swing their neck at the other giraffes. Now, the male giraffe's neck is normally about 6 feet long. So that's a lot of neck that's getting swung, and they spin it really, really hard and fast. So it's actually happened before where 2 male giraffes are fighting. One walks away with a broken jaw, broken bones, unconscious. So they can swing their necks really, really, really hard. So you would not want to be in the way of a giraffe that is swinging its head. The head is close to like 100 pounds by itself. And then they have those horns on top, which are ossicones. They're actually made of bone. And so those horns, you do not want to get hit by that massive head on that massive neck with those massive horns. So avoid at all costs. Do they experience emotion? So they do show affection to other giraffes. Giraffes will have like best friends within their herd. It's thought that they don't have as complex of a social structure as elephants, which makes sense because elephants have just larger expressions of emotions that we see with them and very long-term social bonds, whereas giraffes will have like a bond with their calf, but then once the calf is grown up, it goes off on its own and the giraffe's not too upset about that. So they do experience some emotions from what we understand, but we don't have like a very deep understanding of the full range of emotions that they feel. They're really cute because they have huge eyes. They've got super long eyelashes. They've got soft features, soft muzzle. And so all of those things are things that contribute to make us view them as a really, really cute animal. So that's why we find giraffes so cute. They're adorable. And they're horse-like. No, you can't show your antler right now. You can't. It's too loud. Okay. How do they sleep? So they actually sleep when they're standing up. They'll sleep for like 5 minutes to 30 minutes, and they only sleep about a maximum of 4.5 to 5 hours a day. So they do not spend a lot of time sleeping at all. They get by on very, very little sleep. Again, come here. So since they don't sleep a lot, that helps protect them from predators, so you're not laying down on the ground. And that's another thing, baby giraffes will lay down on the ground when they want to sleep, but adult giraffes just sleep while they're standing up. That protects them from predators. They can get up to around 18 feet tall, is pretty average. Females are normally right at 15 feet tall. Males are more between 16 to 18 feet tall. And the tallest giraffe ever was a giraffe in the UK named George the Giraffe, and he was 19 feet tall. Abu, somebody asked, why is Abu so greedy during feeding time? So if you've ever been to Zoo Atlanta, we have 3 giraffes. I believe it's Atana, Asubu, and Abu. And Abu is the dominant male. So that's why he is front of the line at the feedings. He is there. He wants to eat the food. He's the bigger male. He's an intact male, and he has to assert his dominance. So it's very typical that the male giraffe in the herd, he's going to try to assert himself and be like, no, I get the freshest lettuce. I get to eat my fill first, because he's the dominant male. And when it comes down to it, the females are with him to mate, and he's the most dominant one there. He has the most testosterone. He's the biggest. So he's asserting himself by eating first. Their patterns are very unique. So each giraffe's pattern is as unique as a human fingerprint. And their patterns are asymmetrical. So one side looks different from the other side, which is really cool. So if you work with giraffes, you get to identify them just by their individual spots. They communicate on very, very low frequencies to actually communicate so with such deep, low groans that we can't hear it, but they are communicating and talking with each other. It only takes a few seconds for food to get from their mouth to their stomach. Even though they do have that long neck, it takes us just a few seconds for it to get down there, just a couple seconds longer with their longer neck. And they do have 4 chamber stomachs, so that food will come back up and they'll chew their cud and then swallow it again. Their necks are really long because that's evolutionarily helpful. They fill the niche of being able to reach the really tall trees that other animals can't reach, and they're able to eat those, so it's just an evolutionary benefit. Their tongues are blue to prevent sunburn. Their tongues are out of their mouth so long during the day that if it wasn't purple and dark, they would get sunburned really easily. So that's why their tongue is that dark, dark purple color. They are native to Africa, all throughout Africa, but they are very fragmented throughout. They drink by spreading their legs really far apart and ducking their head down, and they have special valves in their neck that close off when they bend their head down, and that keeps all the blood from rushing to their head and making them pass out whenever they drink water. So they are able to drink water like that. And then a fun fact about them is that there are 4 different species of giraffe. There is the northern giraffe, the Maasai giraffe, the southern giraffe, and the reticulated giraffe. All right, that's all we have for you today on Keep Your Talks with Kiki. Thanks for tuning in.